All right, guys, come in, come in, come in. How are you doing? Happy Monday. I am getting ready to, you guys, I still did not get a freaking mother freaking candlelight. You know how when you need that, happy Monday, by the way. This is so retrograde Monday, you gotta laugh at it. But you know how it's like, when you need that one thing and you keep saying, it's like you get everything. You're like, I was literally at the store, I was on the aisle. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all. That's okay. You know what? Sometimes you read the energy and kind of take it as a sign. You know, maybe we're reducing. The fire is going to be on an uptick. We're going to be in Leo season. So maybe we just need to light less candles. I don't know. That's very weird for me. You guys know I'm the candle maker. But yeah, honestly, it's funny that I say that because I've not worked with, kind of been taking a break on that. So that's interesting to kind of consider. Message for myself anyway. Happy Monday. How you guys doing? How are you feeling? I think that this Mercury retrograde, this is kind of loud. Hold on. It's making the speakers a little bit buzzy. So yeah, come on in. As a quick aside, if you are new here or if you commonly check in here and you receive activations and you receive energetic messages or you just receive support, from our family, from our gang here. It's been quite a busy summer because I've been taking some side classes and doing some things this summer. But I love and appreciate you guys. You know that I'm going to zoom us out just a little bit. Hold on. Yeah. You guys, you know that I feel like we're a soul family here. We're a tribe. We're a gang. Okay, so click the like. That basically just circulates us on this platform and helps us connect with other people who are in our soul family and our soul tribe. You guys know I have a separate private business with clients and friends, reading astrology charts, doing tarot readings for a long, long time. You guys, long time. It's been a little minute. Making candles, making oils. Right, so when I come over here, it's really just to hang out. We walk through the cycles of energy, we flow through the wheel of the year, and we talk about what comes up. We channel spirit, and we read some tarot cards. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that you're here. Subscribe if you want to see when I post new videos. That's an invisible way, you know what I mean, that you can energetically support. So I appreciate you. I do. You know what? This is an odd. I know we talked about this last week, you guys. And I am about to dive into doing private work for charts and tarot cards for the Mercury retrograde energy. So I'm so thankful to get to do the work that I do and to have work on the books. It's a very interesting energy, though. This Mercury retrograde in Leo, I find that normally, you guys know how I feel. It's not doom and gloom on the Mercury retrogrades. I don't see it like that. But, excuse me, I always see it as like this incubation. And it depends on the flow of the year, our Gregorian calendar, and, whatever we have astrologically as a collective going on. Sometimes we'll have 2 seasons of Mercury retrograde. Sometimes we'll have 3. Child, of course, everything else going on this year. Let's make it a 3 year. So we have 3 going on this year. So, I don't know. It feels different, you guys. Now that it's we're not just in pre-shadow, we're really a couple of days in. We're like a weekend into it. It's almost like the throat chakra is more open. And I find that like a lot of times in Mercury and Leo, and I get it because Uranus shifted into Gemini. So that could be kind of charging us with a very interesting communicative, like zap zing type of energy, like as a backdrop already. The collective mind, is a buzz, and people are learning and they're communicating, and wow, I'm perceiving my reality really different. And Mercury already being in Leo probably expounds the light upon all those areas and brings us messages, not just from ourselves, but from spirit. So it's kind of interesting because I feel like sometimes when we go into Mercury retrograde, and I teach this a lot in one-on-one work, is it's like not a shutdown, but it's like you realign, you reevaluate, you revamp, you remember, you reorganize, right? It's all the re's with your energy. And a lot of times your ancestors, your team and higher self, like your spirit team, your God, whatever, words you like to use for that, runs the play, like runs interceptions on your energy, reroutes you when needed, so that you can obtain what you need to from spirit, receive mental upgrades, receive crown chakra openings and unblockages. It's like a hold on, let's check in, let's tap in, let's do some work. Let's get some spirit communications of things maybe that we've been repetitively missing. But this vibe is so different. I really didn't set the intention either, friends, of like coming in and talking about Mercury retrograde, but the way the energy feels, it's just it's very interesting. I feel like obviously Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, right? Our fixed signs. Shout out if you are a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. Because, friend, it's a fixed sign kind of year. Woo, child. Especially if you have something, excuse me, in like a big placement in your chart. You know what I mean? I mean, if you glance at Mercury and Leo, you're thinking of, what I think of is the heart chakra, the solar plexus, and the crown. But I also think of this opening to spirit. And it's almost like slowing down to kind of reevaluate. Like, I know, you're like, girl, is this another reading where you're about to tell us, like you've been telling us all year, slow down? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. It is one of those. But it's kind of thinking about like, what are you doing this year? We've talked a lot about building new foundations. 0 point reset has been a pop word. Starting over, rebuilding. We've had all this energy. We're going to have a new moon in a couple of days too in Leo. So we are going to have, and then the sun will be in Leo. We have fiery energy because we have 2 Aries placements. We do also have Saturn and Neptune in the Aries in the retrograde. Remember, we kept saying that energy. So you may also be kind of, I hear people talk about, I'll say, because maybe you connect with it if you're relating with like, I'm reconnecting with my voice. I kind of want to speak my truth about something. That could be. I intuitively, though, tap into it actually more as like, like a refreshing energy coming in to revive what is inspiring you creatively. And I'll always tell people, you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be painting. You don't have to be, people just assume like we're all creatives in a different way. Some people might say, well, right now, girl, I'm recreating my whole life. That is the creative canvas, if you will. Some people, like, let's say you're a teacher and you're very creative and in the ways that you teach. We could go on with this list, right? So not just artistically, but I almost feel like, okay, so now I'm seeing with spirit, like the energy is putting us in that incubator. I tell people, I always see it. It's like you step into an incubator and all of these, it almost looks like tendrils of like sparkly, glittery, golden light, right? And and it's like your spirit team comes and says, all right, let's check it out. Let's assess. It's very Arcturian, very Pleiadian, like, let's check it out. Let's tune it up. Let's tweak what needs to be done. We need these realignment points throughout the year. So what I'm seeing when I see this is how you, okay, I heard perception, but I'm trying to think of what spirit means by that. Like, they're literally pointing to this person in this little golden glittery incubator, pointing to saying perception, pointing to the third eye. Y'all, I haven't, hold on. Where's my notebook, you guys? I have not written in a while. This is probably, remember when we were doing that a lot? This is probably this Uranus and Gemini energy coming through. Let's write Mercury retro, Leo. Let's write Monday, 7/21. Okay. We said perception. We were talking about the crown. We also talked about the heart and the solar plexus chakra. Now, you know, that's kind of like your self-confidence, your I am, I know who I am, I know why I incarnated here. I'm not going to hate on my ego. I'm healing what my, you know, okay, how do we say, back it up? When we incarnate into this earth school experience, if you will, into this dense dimensionality of sorts, we all are coming from a part of a faceted part of like a whole. Imagine a diamond. So you're this shard of light, this divine sovereign being. You come down, you incarnate from the Akash. You made all your agreements. You're like, cool, 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 cool. I skimmed the book. All right, bet. I signed the contract. Let's go. So you're in the human vessel. You understand, okay? Being in the human vessel comes with certain types of agreements. So I like to teach people, like, it's really important. Now, this is my perception. You take it as you will. You'll always be your highest and best teacher, your own guru, your guide. You trust your intuition, okay? This is my take and what I've learned and my own perception from my guides, right? Ego. It's funny that we're talking about ego because Leo, as a fixed fire sign, really is a stickler for getting called out about that. Ego, okay? Terrible. I don't want to say terrible. Let's just say out of balance. Child, look now. And I'm an Aquarius with an Aquarius stellium. You know the universe loves to put them Leos in my life. They do be staying in my life. Okay, with that being said, shadow Leo energy is tough. It can be very egotistical to the point it's like I can't control it. But listen, we're not ego haters over here. I'm going to write ego because we are talking about this a lot. This could be a message from spirit. Either you're adjusting your ego, you know, an unhealthy shadow, I'm healing, becoming self-aware, or maybe you need more. Some people are born in such a way, it's like, you, child, step into your ego. Because again, when you came down from the Akash, you made an agreement. I will be this way in this life so that I can execute these things. And if you detach completely from ego, it's really interesting too, because we have a North Node in Pisces this year, which is very spiritual. It's very dissolution. It's very, I'm in the dream of the oneness of all that is. And I am always connected to source. I am the source, and none of us are set. We are. That is very accurate. But for the purposes of spirit, how do we say? For the purposes of not, child, I'm listening. Hold on. Mercury retrograde, right? For the purposes of understanding that when you came down from the Akash, you kind of made this agreement with you yourself, also you that is the oneness of all that is. You wanted to contribute to the human collective. And so you sat things up in such a way. And of course, it's like a book. Spirit is showing me those books you used to read and you could choose a different ending. But a lot of the trails, you remember reading those books? Funny. A lot of the trails kind of took you to different but similar ends, right? Okay. So you came down understanding these things, Spirit is saying, like this. And so you need your ego to have a healthy human embodiment kind of experience, because the earth school is dense. We've talked about this before, in that in the progression of ascension, which we are very heavily in, this is a very fast moving ascending type of couple years cluster here. Okay. And then Pluto in Aquarius, of course. Well, Uranus in Gemini inside of that nugget, and then, which is X amount of years, right? And then, of course, the backdrop of all that's Pluto in Aquarius. Okay, so talk about ascension. Okay. But right now, specifically this year, we understand, Spirit is saying, okay, but the attunement of what it feels like to be in the human experience will continue to become a little less dense. Spirit is showing me attuning a guitar. So it's like we had to experience so many cycles to kind of understand more, like, okay, we need a little more of this, a little less of this. But regardless, Spirit is saying, you're still going to have a more dense experience as a human to a certain degree. That, funny we say this, because we have Saturn in Aries, Neptune in Aries, and we went through all the planets. Remember, we went through that train of progression of all of them kind of parading, the planetary parade. You heard that a lot, April, May. We went through all these resets. Because now, mind you, pretty soon we're going to be, before you know it, dipping back to the Pisces energy again with Saturn and Neptune. But it's interesting, Spirit is saying this. The I am that I am, which can be very crown, but also very solar plexus, it is Aries energy. I am that I am. Spirit is reminding me our previous North Node homework we did last year was Aries, right? South Node Libra. So I am that I am. I'm knowing, I am having a knowing that I am, but also to know who I am. Okay? That's how Spirit is saying it, but I kind of get it. Spirit is kind of saying, why would you have incarnated in the human experience than to just continuously back out of it? Okay, I get that. Something like this. So the point is to understand we need the ego. We're not ego haters. We don't want to detach to the point that we don't know who we are, and we don't have like soul purpose and goals. And this is the, okay. But now Spirit is kind of showing me like, well, the time of Pluto being in Capricorn was, well, I contracted to complete these cycles like this. It was more 3D and pinned down. Okay. But Spirit is saying, as a side note, because Pluto is in Aquarius now, the way that we kind of, I am humaning and I have completed this soul contract, right? Next cycle, please. Spirit says it like this. That's changing as Pluto is in Aquarius. It's a little bit more plasmic. It's a little bit more vaporized, flowy. There is a little bit of detachment to it because it makes me think of Aquarian energy, which can be detached, but also very empathetic and caring and wanting to do the best for the collective as a whole type of vibration too. So it's interesting, yes, that ego is coming up. Aries energy there for sure. Yeah. But it's okay. It's okay to kind of, and this is good work that we are doing with Mercury retrograde in Leo, because it's very like, okay, now Spirit is saying now, okay, go back to perception and pointing at the third eye. The way that you interpret your reality and therefore co-create with it in a very quantum way, but also in a very concrete way, Spirit says. This is all based on how you align with who you are, how you align with that in your heart space. A lot of these things can be possibly reprogramming at this time. Mercury retrograde in Leo could be like a lot of heart space reprogramming, because from your heart, it is how you are going to speak your truth, right? From your heart space, it is how you will be authentic. From your heart space, it's how you do build that perception of not only yourself but your reality. And then of course that is what you magnetize back towards you, and then you co-create with it, right? Wow, that was a lot of messages from Spirit. I did not expect that. But where was our South Carolina slipping out, y'all. About said where where was I reading that? Hold on. Where was I reading? I want to get a deck too so I can shuffle some cards. Let me show you. I haven't used this one in a while. Shout out to Bumblebee Jasper and Amethyst. Let's write those down. Spirit says, okay, just Bumblebee Jasper. We'll read about that. It always makes me think of Lakshmi because I did this beautiful abundance ritual in a group one time, and this lady had one of the most gorgeous specimens of Bumblebee Jasper I've ever seen. I don't know why. It always takes me back there, and we were working with Lakshmi. Okay, so perhaps that's a goddess message for someone. I always associate her with literal abundance, like in monetary form, money. What else did I put on these? Oh, we have rosemary, child. I don't have nothing to light it with though. We had been bell cleansing, but I did put lemongrass oil out, so yeah, we good. Oh, and then we have the eye. Okay. I love this deck, and I took it out because all the Leo energy that's going to be vamping up. Ooh, get into it. Look at matches my tattoo. Let's go. Okay. What does it say? Let's read it. This is called the Serpent Fire Tarot, by the way. Beautiful. Awaken now to your desert dreamscape. Look within and find the gentle language of your spirit. This vision quest is yours alone. The alchemical path of air, fire, water, and stone. Take strength from the energy. Find solace in the lessons. Hear the wisdom of the sages passed down through the ages. Nice. Love that. This is a beautiful tarot deck. I really only feel called to it during certain times of the year, though. It's interesting, too, because some of the art is very alternative, very unique. I love to read from the book, too. The astrological associations are really fascinating. I love it. I love it. I would say if you're new, it might be a little bit challenging for you, but it's definitely interesting. But while we shuffle, what was she talking about? She was explaining how retrogrades seem like it's a backward motion, but it's like an optical illusion. You know what I'm saying? But like it has to do with how we see the planet's movement from Earth. Obviously, it's not really moving backwards. So I think what she was trying to say is your ultimate, whoa, this is interesting because we were saying perception and Spirit was pointing as we were in our little glittery golden tube, Spirit's pointing to our third eye. You're being asked to look at something from a different perspective. Whoa, hold on. Very interesting. Oh, y'all, get into these cards though. It's such a vibe. Like, it's like it's almost a 70s vibe. I like the color schemes too. And it's very, very like Egyptian pantheon, desert, very, what do we have? Knight of Cups. There's like a bird in there. The bird in this red gemstone makes me think of seeing cardinals. I've seen a cardinal. I know that's a sign a lot for people's ancestors. Maybe that's a confirmation for someone to this message. Your ancestor is asking you to see something. Hey, hold on, slow down. You need to see this. I'm hearing it like this. That happens a lot in Mercury retrogrades. I personally don't really have a lot of like electronic problems. I don't. But I mean, I have an Aquarius air stellium. Right. And I don't know. Retrogrades don't really, it's very rare. Woo. Every now and then one will really be a doozy, child, but is rare. I know that's not the case for everyone, right? Maybe someone's ancestor is asking them to see something. Or something could be brought to you in the form of a message. And mind you, again, Mercury retrograde in Leo is like, hey, you know what? I actually need to speak up about a truth. Hey, you know what? I need you to hear me out on something. Can we talk? I'm hearing, listen to your heart. I don't know where you're going. Dun, 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 dun. Is someone trying to figure out, is it travel? I don't know where you're going stands out to me. Someone's looking for someone. I mean, Knight of Cups, someone may be looking for you to make an offer. Knight of Cups sometimes can be like a really helpful person. Are you looking for someone to help you? I don't know. I'm just channeling though. But before we get into it, this card, all but y'all saw, it just flew straight out of here. We are going to get into it with this card. What is aspecting Mercury? Sextile Venus? Is Venus still? Yes, Venus is still in Gemini. I don't know. Venus in Gemini, Mercury in Leo, Venus retrograde, they're sextiling. That's giving definitely someone's looking for someone to talk to them. Or to help you. Or I was looking for you because I was going to ask for your help. But I don't know. It's cups. Those feelings, you know. What else? Oh, we have Black Moon Lilith squaring Mercury today. That is interesting. Moon sextile Mercury. What else? Interesting. Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio till the end of the year. Squaring Mercury. Well, like I heard oh man, I heard I was thinking about Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio, the deep dark, the dark, and then I was thinking Tiamat, and I always think of like, or like the Kraken, you know. And I heard, you're gonna wish you never had met me. There's a fire, da, 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 da. Rolling in the deep, yeah. We could have had it all. I mean, I understand the energetic frequency here, you guys, because we've talked about it before. It's just what it is, you know. All of these new timelines unfolding, all of this convergence. Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio until the end of the year, that's giving like, if you haven't dealt with your 8th house issues, with your shadow, we don't talk about that. You're going to have to talk about it. Somebody wants to talk about it. I don't know. Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio square Mercury in Leo. Ooh. That could be like fiery, losing your tempers, or I found dirt on you, I'm confronting. I don't know. What am I picking up on? But someone's ancestor is protecting them because I keep seeing this red cardinal. Child. Anyway, regardless though, we will stay introspected. We will stay reflective. We will stay compassionately detached, right? We will stay grounded. Remember, this year is ruled by Virgo. Remember that Saturn is in retrograde right now. Remember, there's multiple, it's very retrograde-y. So it's almost like I don't really, okay, what is it like? Just because someone has something to say to you, you don't always have to get involved. Or if someone's mad at you, you don't always have to get provoked. It doesn't mean you're not listening. You're not offering empathy. But listen, you don't owe that either. You don't have to even speak. It can be like, okay, thank you so much. I'm going to go on about my business. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because this energy, I think, is really going to be most high vibrational, most useful, most positive, right, most transformative, is that if you're utilizing in a way to kind of revamp yourself creatively, channel, especially in speaking, writing, teaching. We have Uranus in Gemini, but we have a Mercury retrograde in Leo. It's like communication. I do want to say as a side note though, just be mindful if you're traveling for various reasons in the astrology here. I'm just going to put that as a side note. Let's read this Nine of Cups, though. I'm so curious. I mean, we know the traditional interpretations, right, of the Knight of Cups, but I'm curious what it is in here. Sensual oasis. I heard so loud. And after all, you're my wonder wall. baby. Gonna be the one that today is gonna. Aren't they like notorious dickheads? That one guy. Sorry, Love and Light. Okay, I'm just saying, aren't they like notoriously jerks or something? I feel like I read that somewhere. That's kind of funny. Knight of Cups vibes of someone singing, "You're gonna be the one that saves me." But then meanwhile, when they're not singing on stage in front of everyone, they're a jerk. Isn't that funny? What's another side note Spirit is reminding me? A lot of people are starting kind of to see the unrolling of like starting to get their karma, because all these reset points, all these timeline convergence things unrolling, people calling their power back to them, and the reset of Saturn in this brand new cycle, lots of other things, right? And we've talked about some of these. People are getting their karma, and we have lots of fiery energy that's going to build up. I mean, I do love that we have that beautiful energy of Jupiter in Cancer. But on the shadow side, sometimes Jupiter, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Jupiter is not a picker of favorites. It will expand on what can teach you wisdom, because ultimately the wisdom will help you be more abundant long term. But it's not always going to be like, I think some people think of like Jupiter as the mom that's like, "Oh, sweetie." And a lot of times Jupiter is, right? Hear me out. Saturn is the one that's like, "I'm punishing you and it's for your best good. And this hurts me more than it hurts." You know what I'm saying? But Jupiter sometimes will expand a really big, reach down in the crabby shell where you're walled up. We are talking about the heart chakra. But Jupiter may know in the long term, if we expand on this now and move it out of the way as a blockage, ultimately you will communicate better. Ultimately you will think more clearly. Ultimately you will be more creative. Ultimately you will be more authentic. But let's go ahead and expand this now. People could be feeling that as well, but collectively it can be really emotional. On the shadow side, I'm gonna tell you, everybody did not, first of all, Love and Light, everybody did not incarnate to evolve like you're evolving, or ascend, or become self-aware, or healing, all these various things. Everybody didn't. Some people have a completely different contract for whatever reason, and then some people, hear me out, some people did, and they're just still choosing not to do it. Still avoiding. Still spiritually bypassing. Still... Excuse me, I'm hearing back to life. Back to reality. Burn, burn, burn. Okay, some people are getting a reality check with Saturn retrograde in Aries. Okay. Let's read this together, okay? Desires, dreams, cravings transform action through carnality. Very interesting, okay? Palm trees erupt from the heart chakras of the supine women. Oh, I see. Oh, I can't show you in more detail now. Dang, I hope it doesn't get... Okay, wasn't paying attention before. Wow, okay, I see the whole card differently now, you guys. Listen. Child. Okay. Between them, a large crystal phallus rises to meet the crystal yoni. What are your wishes and dreams, and how do they manifest? This is very appropriate Mercury and Leo retrograde. It really is. Slow down and stop and think. Like, what was I even dreaming about in this timeline convergence? On this new path. Take it as you will, on this career, on this creative journey of this business or this spiritual healing. I don't know. It depends on where your path is going. What are your wishes and desires, and how do they manifest? The deepest, sorry, I keep bonking the camera. The deepest, most emotionally mysterious desires are what we are being asked to access. Oh, it's squaring Black Moon, Lilith, and Scorpio. Okay, I can see that. In order to retrieve them, we must be fully self-aware. This card asks us to be alert and attuned to the things which call us carnally. even if it's difficult for us to admit some of them. We need to shed light on them and find love and acceptance for all. In the shadow, you may be afraid of admitting your deepest desire, or you might find yourself utterly lost inside of them. Okay, that's interesting because we are talking about solar plexus, confidence. Who am I? I am the I am. Who am I? We are talking about Aries energy. We are talking about Black Moon Lilith squaring Mercury and Leo in retrograde. Okay. I feel it. Sorry, you in the shadow, you may be afraid of admitting your deepest desires, or maybe you find yourself utterly lost inside them. Either way, it's important to bring them to the conscious mind and make them real. Yes. Bring them to the conscious mind. Bring the desires. Bring that. Okay. Yes, it makes so much sense. Mercury and Leo retrograde, squaring Black Moon and Lilith, right? In a very retrograde month. Okay, hold on. Because by the time we kick it into gear later this year, hey, that rhymed. By the time we kick it on up a notch later next year, we may not have the same incubators of time. This year is so important because a lot is changing, but actually we're just meant to utilize it as realignment. Remember, this is a Virgo ruled year. This is a year of 9. You're calling your power back. You're walking your way through the dark. You're nailing down, changing, and then shifting in your daily routine, making sure your health is good. Where are the foundations, right? It is the time to say, let me slot on down one more time and just remind myself, this is why I did this, and it made me feel powerful because of this, and this is how I wanted to express myself. This is what I was trying to communicate. This is my authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that totally makes sense. I accept and love my deepest desires. I love that. I keep hearing that. And after all, you're my Bumblebee. Good 90s vibes, I'm telling you. Let's look up Bumblebee Jasper together. Okay. Bumblebee Jasper is a vibrant yellow, orange, and black stone believed to symbolize strength, courage, transformation, and opportunity. It is also associated, yes, with inspiration, creativity, and passion. Very nice. Yep. Solar plexus, sacral, transformation and change, strength and courage, creativity and passion. I think we have to write down passion. For sure. Passion is going to look, feel, and manifest differently to everybody, right? Purpose and clarity, grounding and connection, healing properties, chakra activation for solar plexus especially, but also sacral. Activates energetic currents and emotional currents of creativity, personal power, and self-esteem. Nice. Physically, it's associated with healthy blood circulation and calming a restless mind. Nice, because those are very Aries areas. Y'all, I'm gonna write it down. Aries areas. Digestive health. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Associated with the elements of fire and earth. Zodiac Leo. Okay. About to be a Leo season tomorrow. Let's go. The affirmation listed here says, my spirit is grounded in the earth, allowing me to manifest my highest intentions into the physical world. I love that because we are in that Virgo ruled year. I love that. We have a Virgo South node, but Mars, our fiery ruler, Mars is actually in Virgo right now. So I like that. Very nice. Very nice. A lot of you guys, love and light, you may be familiar with Lakshmi, right? But I'm going to see what she wants to. I'm going to have to share her on the page now. She is the goddess. Okay. Hindu goddess of wealth, prosperity, fortune, and beauty. Very Leo vibes, okay? What's interesting is that a lot of people associate her with a lotus flower. And it's hard to explain. You know how it is. It's hard to explain to you all the synchronicities lately, even down to like meditations popping into my feed, pulling a card. You know what I mean? Lotus flowers have just been everywhere. And I was even looking at tattoo. Anyway, lotus flowers have been everywhere. I always associate that with the 1,000-petaled lotus, which actually takes us back to the third eye, perception, and the crown. It's very interesting. Spirit really may be trying to bring through some messages. Perhaps you want to do some guided meditations or go out and clear your vessel in your mind by being in nature, right? Maybe spiritual baths, whatever it is that you do that helps you. Maybe in the dream space, connect to spirit. Automatic writing. Automatic writing is great right now because Uranus is in Gemini. Lakshmi, okay. She is primarily known as the goddess who bestows wealth, good fortune, and material abundance upon her devotees. She is the wife of Vishnu, one of the principal gods in the Hindu Trinity. She is believed to be his energy and power. She takes different forms to be with him in various incarnations. I'm hearing something about like past life, or if you resonate, and you don't have to, it's totally okay. You're still welcome here. If you resonate with a twin flame or a soulmate journey, or even just like, wow, I think we've been together in other lives and we reincarnate to try to help each other in different contracts or something like this. I'm hearing something like this. Lakshmi is often depicted with exactly a lotus flower, symbolizing purity, beauty, and prosperity. She may also be shown holding a pot of gold or other symbols of wealth. I'm seeing how, you know how we've done collective. Oh, I think the new moon in Leo is going to be so important. And that makes me think about how we're having a private event this weekend I'm excited about, but also I think I might want to do an abundance and prosperity, but we might have feature Lakshmi. I'm seeing how people make like a money altar. You know what I'm talking about? What is it? A money dish? Money rice? What child? Ooh, I need to make some money rice. Y'all, I'm sorry. It's like green. You know what I'm talking about? And so the rice like soaks in different oils and it's like a blend with some herbs. And then I think people dye it green. It's called money rice. And you put it in a money dish. You put like coins or a piece of gold, pretty gemstones. You can put little herbs on it, a little cinnamon. And people will periodically light candles. Yeah, and ask their ancestors to bless them, or Lakshmi, or whatever it is that you call in. You may just be speaking to your higher self, right? Child, we about to look up this money rice. Hold on, let me write down a note. Cause when spirit, excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. Y'all, have y'all's dreams been like my dreams, y'all? I have a little notebook, and when spirit tells me things I need to make. Y'all, we should do a collective. I share these usually on my Facebook business page, but we should do a collective group. New moon. Money altar. Yes, we should. I'm going to put down money rice. And I'm going to put down Lakshmi. Okay. Because y'all, I'll forget. Shit. I feel called. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Please, I love you and appreciate you for being here. I'm so sorry. Listen, okay. I've only done money rice like ever once a long time ago. Yeah, okay. See, because that's what I thought. You make a money bowl. But you can sprinkle it like on your altar. If you have like an ancestor's altar or something, you can put a little tiny dish or a bowl, whatever, on their altar. I mean, you can keep it and use it. Like, you know, you'll burn a chime, or I make a lot of taper candles, and people will take my taper candles and put it in a little holder. And then, you know, you basically create your corresponding herbs and different things. You put a little circle around your candles to kind of amplify the energy of your work. You can use it for clearing debt rituals, manifestations. You can put it in Grigri, charm, mojo bags. You can, girl, put this on a friend. He, she, them, they. We love everybody here. Friend. You can put it in your wallet. You can put it in the bottom of your shoes too. Okay, I never thought. They're creative, real creative. But yeah, okay. So it's dyed green basically. Yeah, and then people will like soak it and blend it with certain oils to kind of enhance the energy and certain spices. Okay, yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. I love those memes, y'all. Oh, I think I have some of these cute ass little jars too. Not the cute jars. Oh, I have some of these pouches. Yeah. Y'all, we gonna make some of this money rice. I'm gonna call it Get That Money, Honey. No, I don't know. Oh, some people don't dye it green. They just leave it. Oh, that's interesting though. I feel like I would need to dye it green. Okay, well, okay. Noted. Yeah, see, we need to do a ritual with Lakshmi. Interesting. All right, I'm also feeling super called to... I have this OG, y'all. I've had the Spirit of the Herbs Tarot deck forever, but it's been around for real since, like, I want to say the 80s, 70s. And I just love the book because it kind of takes the meanings of the cards. I always keep this book. It takes the meanings of the cards way back to when it was just super simple and it was about spirituality. And it wasn't always like so-and-so's. I don't know. A lot of people make these meanings about other people all the time. And I get it. If Spirit brings through the message, like, I'm not going to stop the message. But, excuse me, I like the deeper meanings too. Because, child, at the end of the day, we're just going to be gossiping because we can't control what they do anyway. It does need to come through as a divine confirmation for someone to help them. If their ancestors or spirit team bring it through, I agree with that. But sometimes people dwell so heavily on it, I just don't think it's good for them. You're going to end up reverse manifesting stuff because you should be dwelling on it. Okay, Knight of Cups in this book says, awareness of opportunities for sharing intimate thoughts, ideas, and feelings. Renewed commitment to deepening love and intimacy with yourself or others. Making love a creative experience that is shared with the self and the other. I create opportunities to share my thoughts and feelings with others. Wow, you see how it's such an interesting energy coming through in this Mercury retrograde. It really is. The Knight of Cups can represent a stage leading to deeper personal commitments. But on a negative side, be aware. Do not lose temporarily a sense of personal identity through getting caught up in the turbulence of a new or immature relationship or connection. Guard against moodiness and jealousy. Interesting. The Knight of Cups is the active, airy aspect of water element within each of us. He's on a tireless search for identity in relationship to the other. He may also have a dream, and he is actively pursuing it. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Because that could easily get out of balance, you know? So we just have to be mindful that before we, seek outside of the self, we have to make sure that we're in right alignment, balanced harmony with ourselves. I mean, are you going to be perfect? No, but, you don't want to be looking always outside yourself because that can become very codependent, These cards are really nice. Look at the gold foil and everything, but sometimes they're just, I don't know, they're weird to shuffle. I think it's the texture. It's not like a matte texture. It's not glossy either. It's different. They're slightly thick, but I do kind of like that. Okay. I think it's really important, you guys, during this time frame, and this retrograde is going to be going until about August the 11th. On through Leo season as well, right? Almost the whole of Leo season, close to it. Focus on your creative projects, okay? Focus on creative ways to connect with spirit. What is spirit channeling to you through messages or your team, your higher self? How can you be creative with what you have in your environment? Creative ways to spice up your daily routines. Your mental health can be greatly supported by your creative flow, if you feel like you have an inner dialogue going on, maybe that's weighing on you too heavily, writing it down is a great way to express that. And because we have all this fire energy getting ready to come through as well, you can burn stuff too, right? You know, do a little burn dish and write things down to burn it and release it. Might be really helpful with that, right? Are there any other aspects, really? Not really. I mean, like, in the end of July, I think there's, like, an inferior conjunction. So, like I said, we are sextiling Venus and Gemini. See, it's almost like a time where someone wants to cocoon in your Mercury retrograde gold swirly tube with you. Or maybe you need to do that with yourself or something. I don't know. It definitely can be. I'm not even going to lie. Just with Venus and Gemini, with Mercury and Leo, with Uranus and Gemini, child, with Jupiter and Cancer, honey. Somebody got some feelings they have yet to express to you. It's looking like just tossing it out there, okay? And that's all right. You don't have, that doesn't mean anything. You don't have to be open or receptive to it. You need to choose what is for your highest and best good, right? Wow. That's it. The cards aren't really saying. What do we want to do? You know what? Let's do a Seasons of the Witch Oracle before we go, you guys. And you go out and have a wonderful Monday and enjoy your week. Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I'm in the Southeast, okay, in the States, and it's hot. It's usually, it's hot. It's usually hot in the summer here, y'all. It's like that swampy hot too. We got that humid heat, you know, but I don't know. I think we have a heat advisory for like 5 days. Like, y'all, it's real hot. Okay, let's get into it. Beautiful Seasons of the Witch Lammas Oracle. Y'all, it's gonna be Lunasa. It's gonna be August Eve before we know it. What in the... It's so wild. I will continue to die on the hill this year of saying, this is a year it feels like it's moving so fast, but internally we are asked to be more and more still. And I love that for us. I think it's really, really, really realigning us in the heart space, in our mental space, because Uranus is really going to be upgrading us. So we need, I don't know, space for that, you know? Whoa, okay. Wow. Coming for, that's so wild. I know you just heard me say it's going to be Lunasa. It's going to be August Eve before we know it. This card says, coming of fall. Let the spark of hope within you ignite and never cease, for it is never too late to manifest your dreams. That's so crazy. Coming of fall, because I'm doing this private event and we're doing like Summerween, Halloween in the summer. Interesting. What's coming in the fall? Y'all, it's going to be Virgo season and a Virgo ruled year. Okay, bring us the harvest. We claim it. That's what it is. Our spirit team going to bring us a harvest in that big cup. That's what they're doing. Okay, let's read it together. Okay, keywords, still time to harvest, last push, preparation for success. Okay, you know what it feels like too is like this Mercury retrograde can give us a revamp, because y'all, it's just been such a year of like working on your health, minding your business, Virgo, the Hermit. Sometimes, I don't know, it's like, and all that, look, in the backdrop of everything, Pluto and Aquarius is just like exposure, more exposure. And I get it, like, because we are evolving, but oh gosh, it's easy to be super overstimulated right now. And so I just feel like a lot of us are fucking tired. And it's like spirit, ancestors, team, you know, my higher self, you know, help me for the highest and best good. Help me continue to press on in my manifestations and my goals. Helping me get to my harvest season, you know. Woo, I feel that. I really do. Still time to harvest. Last push. preparation for success. I heard La Push, and that made me think of Twilight. So shout out, maybe, if you already know, you know. Let the spark of hope within you ignite and never cease, for it is never too late to manifest your dreams. Lammas marks the first of the 3 harvests together with Mabon and Samhain. We're talking about the wheel of the year, by the way. You know, whether maybe you claim to be a witch, you identify as that. That's great. I love that for you. Or maybe you're just pagan or earth-based, or you're like, the earth is my church, and it's an ergonomic way to flow through the seasons. Some of it's taken from Celtic. It's taken from all different places. You resonate with what you will, right? But it's a beautiful way to kind of sometimes back out a little bit from the Gregorian, like, rat race, grind till you die calendar. Okay. And flow more with like Gaia's nature base, the full moons, the seasons of the year type of a calendar, right? So this is what we're talking about. When we talk about Lammas or Lunasa, that's usually right there in the beginning of August. It opens the official time of harvest season, right? Virgo season, and the grains are coming in, and imagine you've worked really hard all summer, and so you finally have some like, oh, I'm about to take this and make some bread with it and celebrate. That way, you give yourself this energy. We still got these vegetables and these, and then Virgo season is preparing to make sure you do good with all the harvest you receive. So Lammas, anyway, Lunasa is based on the god Lugh, and it has to do with the high exaltation of the sun. Of course, in the Egyptian cultures, that would be Ra. You can see a lot of that in every culture, right? But the sun was giving you like the juice of his marrow before he really starts waning more. Okay, so when we say Lammas, I'm just letting you know, if you're not like pagan or earth-based, if you're not, certain belief system, that's what we're talking about, okay? While summer is beginning to wane, and with it the growing season, there is still plenty of time to plant, nourish, and grow fruits and vegetables that take you well into autumn. You've pulled this card because all is not lost, and you can work towards your goals with enough time to see them come to fruition. Absolutely. Wow, I really relate to this message. Even if you've not been successful up to this point, and it's not that I haven't, I'm so thankful. I just want to take time to express my gratitude to the universe and my guides. Like, I'm very blessed. It's just been like, I've needed a lot more time through points in the year to just rest, to just be quiet. And that's fine. That's the energy of this year. This is not a grind it out till you can go as hard as you can type of, it's not. The energy is not going to be supportive of that. It's going to burn you out, and then it's going to catch you on the health end. This is a year of dealing with your spirit, mental, body health. Remember, we've been talking about this. Okay, look at your 6th house. Virgo energy, mind, body, spirit. Take care of your health. Are you happy with your daily routine? Maybe you're someone who's been working from home for 3 years and you're like, girl, I got to get back out there, friend. I can't do this no more. Or maybe you're like, I don't want to grind in corporate anymore. I need something creative and spiritual. Maybe you're deciding to commit to your mental health and take care of yourself, do some spiritual healing, get some therapy. I don't know what it may be, but this is the vibe for this year. It's not no grind it out. Okay, but anyway, even if you've not been successful up to this point, and I'm sure you have everything that you need, and you're here today, aren't you? See, I'm glad you're here. There is still time to turn things around and use your past experiences to your advantage. This is your second chance, your moment to say yes, even when you want to throw in the towel. I feel it. Because, you'll be down to like the end of July. All the kids are going to be going back to school like mid-August, and you're kind of in this weird place, and you're just like, I'm so exhausted. The fucking sun is so hot. But yet I need to find the energy to really push through, because sometimes once you start getting into fall, you're kind of refreshed. It's cooling down. You feel me? You know what I'm saying. Okay. Receiving this card is your confirmation that it's not too late. Your age, level of experience. Maybe this message is too confirmation for someone who's like, all this timeline convergence, friend. It's got me feeling like, shoot, I might open the floral business, or you know what? I may You know, I did do that Reiki training, and I know how to do the sound tuning for it. So I was thinking about doing a side gig, and my friend had told me, but just like, I don't know. You know, I'm 40, and life is just, don't do that. Don't we love to see those videos where it's like, dude, 70 years old, gets his degree. I'm not saying you have to have a degree, but it's inspiring. Or somebody finally writes the book or something. You know what I'm saying? This is that type of energy too, because we do have all these 0 point resets, calling your power back, rebuilding your foundation moments, and the energy of the collective. And let me tell you too, shadow Pluto and Aquarius, shadow Uranus and Gemini is very like, get the off staring at a screen all the time. Love and light, it really is. Because it's influencing your brain waves. You're co-creating based on energies without even realize you're doing it. You're being influenced, child. The wavelengths and the frequencies and the radio signal. We could go on all day. You know we could. I can get real quantum with it. But I'm going to tell you what. The shadow air sign energy. Pluto and Uranus. Pluto and Aquarius, friend. We need to do a whole separate thing on this, Spirit is saying. We do. Talking about how important it is to really get your attachments under control, whether it's social media, whether it's Facebook, whatever it is, or just being on the computer or watching a lot of TV or the news. Child, don't get me started on propaganda controlling your brain waves and your co-creative, imaginative, manifesting powers, because you're a crazy, amazing human. You're divinely sovereign, right? Okay, but I digress. Woo! Sometimes we just feeling so down. We ain't even seen the sunflowers outside or nothing. We ain't even put our feet in a river because we just been looking at doom, more doom. Oh no, it's so doom. And it's actually a beautiful day outside. The fuck, you know? Okay. Receiving this card, it's your confirmation that it's not too late. And it's not, because time is an illusion. Your age, level of experience, or breadth of your mistakes are not reasons to wither away without experiencing the joy of seeing your desires manifest. Because honestly, a lot of that stuff seasons the fuck out of you. It gives you character. You got all these good stories, all this creative. It's like life is giving you material. What are we going to do with this? Jupiter in Cancer selects, expound upon these feelings. Uranus and Gemini, write a book, you know, go out and speak. Maybe you're going to be on a podcast. I don't know. We done been through so much shit at this point. Like, let's get creative with it. Hey, that's the Mercury and Leo vibe. It really is. Okay. Whether you would like to start a new business or breathe life into an existing one, entertain a second career, or embrace a fresh relationship, there is still so much in you to give. Ultimately, this card is your soul's plea not to give up because you're almost there. Doesn't that go so well with that whole cup? Please, like, maybe your soul is the Knight of Cups. Like, come on. Let's wake up today and romance one more day. Why not? You know, here we are. Everything doesn't have to be so terrible. I love that. I love how the sun is over her crown too. A lot of light codes, a lot of information packets are in our crown, in our mental body and everything. So you have a lot of material to work with. Okay, just believe that. All right, my friends, I think that's all we have for the message. I hope you have a wonderful opening to your week. Child, you know me. I do hope to check in. It is a very busy week. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I know we have the new moon on the 24th, which is like Thursday. I hope to check in with you guys before then, but take good care of yourselves, okay? I look forward to chatting with you soon. All right, love you. Bye.